All right. So again, welcome. My name is Carrie Larson, and I'm the Keen Teens Education Director. Um, Vernice Miller, who you will know very well, is at a rehearsal this evening. She might pop in to say hello, and she is the Keen Teens producing director. With us today is Sloan Fisher, and she is the incredible Keen Teens production stage manager. Say hello, Sloan.
Hi everyone, super excited to be here. I'm glad you guys are all here. Excited to see you in auditions next week.
Um, Also unable to be here today, but sends his regards is Jonathan or Johnny. We like to call him Silverstein. He is the artistic director of Keen Company. That means he's our boss. He tells us when we do things right and wrong. No, he's wonderful. And then Ashley, who is D Giorgi, who is our managing producer of Keen Company, and is also here to say hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm running the tech, so when it inevitably goes wrong, you can blame me for that.
All right, thank you so much. And thank you all for being here. So let's go over the agenda and what you can expect from this information session. So introductions, which we just did. Um, we're going to learn a little bit about Keen Company and Keen Teens. We're going to go over the plays this year, and they're really exciting. I can't wait to share them with you all. Um, Introduce you to the creative team. And then we're going to go into the things that you're probably really curious about, and that's the audition information, casting information. Also, if you're returning, you're a Keen Teens alum, we have some new and updated things to share with you. A new Keen Teen Director understudy position, and then rehearsal information, and then finally the Q&A. So, what is Keen Company? So, Keen Company is a drama desk and Obie Award winning off-Broadway company creating theater that connects. In intimate productions of plays and musicals, we celebrate the complexities of hope and the joys of the human condition. Our goal is to give people a welcoming, safe, productive, and joyous space to create. Teen Teens was established in 2007 and is a free program for New York City area high school student performers to collaborate with professional writers, directors, designers in mounting world premiere plays off Broadway. So, a world premiere, if you don't know, means it has never been done before. These plays are brand new, and you will be the first actors acting in them off Broadway. So, how do we do this? We commission accomplished playwrights to write original plays that reflect the teens of New York City. The teens then work with professional playwrights, directors, and designers and technicians. So that means when you're in the rehearsal room, your director is a professional director. Your stage manager is a professional stage manager. Your set designer is a working set designer in the theater. Plays then are performed off Broadway in the Keen Teens Festival of New Work. And this is the part that I find most exciting. The plays are then published by Concord Theatricals and licensed for production for young people in the United States. And what that actually means is if you're cast in one of these plays, when it's published, your name is in the script, in the play, as the person who originated the role. And that's for everyone to see for all time. Okay. Um, I think any returning teens, maybe we'll save that for a little bit later, if that's okay. Okay. So, here is a little video right now, that will show you a little bit about Keen Teens. This is from a couple of years ago. So if you're returning, I'm sorry, you're not in this video. Sorry.
Next time, maybe next time.
Next time.
All right, let's see. Get it up for you all.
Keen Teens is a free performance opportunity for high school students in the New York City area, and we commission professional playwrights to write one-act plays for teenagers with their voices in mind and their experiences in mind.
I heard about Keen Teens through my drama rep's Instagram. She posted a post about it, and I thought that this was a wonderful opportunity.
I auditioned for a few things, but like everyone was very kind.
Everybody on the audition panel was really welcoming, and they're kind of forgiving. I think I forgot one of my lines at one point, and they were like, "Oh, that's okay. You can just kind of just take it from the top."
It was nerve-wracking because prior to I've never done any theatrical act. I've never done anything professional like that, but always wanted to.
In my school, it's more you perform one time and then that's it. But here, it's you perform multiple times and you get the actor experience.
What's so wonderful about this program is that the teens actually have the opportunity to work directly with the playwrights and discuss what the context of the play is.
I love the creative exploration. I feel like that was one of my first times to be able to really break down the script and just be creative and look at different things.
This is an actual real big scale professional production that we were able to do, and that's something my school barely offers.
I really got immersed in what it is to be a professional actor and to be in a professional performing space and working with lighting and working with stage managers and directors, and it was awesome.
Even though you are a teen in high school, they treat you like professionals. While you still get to have fun, you get to build a community with fellow actors that come from all across the New York tri-state area.
It's a very welcoming and warm community. I've really been able to be vulnerable and grow and just have fun and put something that I'm proud of out there.
When I open up the play and see my name in the original cast, I'm going to be so proud and so happy.
Everyone should do Keen Teens if they get the opportunity. Everyone should audition. It's a pathway into the professional industry. It's an opportunity to learn more, to get a glimpse into the way that something functions in the city where it functions the most.
It's so fun to see all of these teenagers come together, some who have no experience, some who have a lot of experience, and they get to all have a new experience together, which is a Keen Teens experience, which I think is really unique and fun and special.
I could watch that over and over. I love it. But to echo some things that I heard that I love that some of the teens said is that it mirrors the professional experience. So if you want to know what it's like to work in the theater and what that process is like, this would be a really good avenue for you. But you don't need to have had any prior acting experience before. So if you are new to acting and new to theater, and this is just something you want to discover and explore, we love that and we welcome that. Or if you have a ton of experience, we love that too. Whatever you're coming in with is great. Okay, if you wouldn't mind sharing the slides again.
Excellent. Alrighty, let's get back into it. Oops.
Okay. So, in the past, when we've commissioned plays, we've just said to the playwrights, create something for teens, something that they'd be excited about, a topic that they'd be interested in, and don't shy away from the really deep, important social topics. And that's still true for this year, but we've changed it up a bit and asked the playwrights to focus on the theme identity. And the reason why we did this is that Keen Company will be doing an exciting world premiere musical called All the World's a Stage by Adam Guan. That's Keen Company, the main stage, the main company. And one of the themes that this play deals with is identity. And we wanted Keen teens to really feel like they are a part of the season of Keen Company. And we wanted Keen teens to connect with the main stage. So all three plays, in some way, shape, or form, deal with the theme of identity, yet they are all vastly, vastly different and unique. The first play is called The Door by Amy Whitting. The second play is The Floydians by Kyle E. Bass. And the third play, which is a working title, is now at this point called Welcome to Danny Thomas High School's Spring Presentation of Aladdin Jr. by Alyssa Haddad Chin. So let's talk about the door. So on an ordinary Thursday in America, 11 students in Ms. Miller's AP Literature class wait for her to arrive when they hear a loud pop in the hallway. Barricading themselves inside, they sit in silence, waiting until the most unusual thing happens. A door appears in the center of the room. Is it an illusion, an escape, or something beyond comprehension? Each student is faced with a choice: stay in the fear of the known or lean into faith and walk through. The Door is a story about the magic we find in each other, the resilience it takes to keep going, the beauty of letting go, and the hope that propels us forward under the most extraordinary circumstances. And this play has 12 characters. It is our largest cast play. And it's really a beautiful, beautiful piece by my dear, dear friend, Amy Whitting. So I'm very excited about this one. The next play is The Floydians, again by Kyle E. Bass. And to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the police murder of George Floyd, a diverse group of teens has created a new religion around the BLM Black Lives Matter martyr. As they try to come up with the last verse of the final chapter of their sacred text, Floydians 9:29, division, shifting alliances, and the deeply personal threaten the group's cohesion and test their faith in the possibility of a just society and hopeful future. The Floydians deals with themes of social justice, police brutality, oppression, identity, self-esteem, and community. This play has 10 characters. And something I will add about this play is that it does contain strong language and strong content. So anyone who's offered a role in this play will be given the opportunity to read the play first, just to make sure that it's the right fit for you. But it's a fantastic play, and I'm very excited about this one. Welcome to Danny Thomas High School's spring presentation of Aladdin Jr. by Alyssa Haddad Chin. Danny Thomas High School's drama club is in tech for Aladdin Jr., and the energy is low and tempers are high. But when the students discover and dissect the original story of Aladdin from the 1001 Nights folk tales, the fight for who should get the titular role is on. Throw in a genie, and chaos is inevitable. A fun and fast-paced comedy with heart, Danny Thomas High School's spring presentation of Aladdin Jr., the musical, explores the questions of representation, authenticity in storytelling, identity, and theater kid culture. And this play has 10 characters. And just for transparency, the reason why it's a working title is because when it is published, it is not allowed to have the title Aladdin Jr. in it because Aladdin Jr. is already a published play, so we are working on the title. But this is a lot of fun. Anyone casting that is going to have a blast. All right. So, who's who in the creative team? And before I go on, just a reminder, if you have any questions along the way, feel free to put it in the chat.
I'm also going to take this second to drop some quick links in the chat if that's useful so they can follow along as well.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. So I introduced in the beginning our Keen Teen staff, but I will go over it again. These are the people who are working for Keen and Keen Company and Keen Teens. So that's Jonathan Silverstein, who's our artistic director. Ashley DiGiorgi, our managing producer, who's on the Zoom with us. Myself, Carrie Larson, education director. Vernice Miller, who is the producing director. That means she's responsible for making sure the festival happens. She is amazing at what she does, and she's so knowledgeable and wonderful, and she's sorry she can't be here. And then Sloan Fisher, who is here again, and she is our production stage manager. She's been with King Company for 4 years. Am I right, Sloan?
This will be my 4th Keen Teens season.
And
yeah.
Whenever I have a question, I don't know the answer, I go to Sloan because Sloan knows the answer. And she is, I feel like, the face of Keen Teens, and everyone loves her. So we love having Sloan with us. As I introduced before, we have our three playwrights, Amy Whitting, Kyle E. Bass, and Alyssa Hadid Chin. And then your directors. And they are so cool. I cannot wait. Our first director is Alex Toby, and he'll be directing The Door. Michael Iglesias will be directing The Floydians, and Jessica Smith will be directing The Aladdin Jr. We are also hiring assistant directors, assistant stage managers, and designers, and those will all be announced within the coming weeks. All right, here we go. Auditions.
What
So
everyone's been waiting for.
everyone's been waiting for this part. Now, everyone put down your phones because we're here. Here we go. This is important to know. All right. So the dates of the auditions next week. I'll say that again. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 27th, 28th, and 29th. I know some of you probably don't have school on the 29th because it's Lunar New Year. I think that some of the DOE schools on the 27th, it's a remote day. You might not be going in. I know that's with some of the schools I've been working at. So just know that yes, we are having auditions on these days. There are two audition slots for each day, a 4:15 and a 5:45. Auditions will be held at Theater Row Studios at 411 West 41st Street between Ninth Avenues and Dyer Avenues. So that's if you go to Times Square on the 123 and R ACE trains, you keep walking west on 42nd Street and you will be able to find, I'm sorry, on 41st Street, and you will be able to find the door. It's a little hard to find, but you'll see it. There's a stage door, and then there's the Theater Row Studios door. And we'll make sure there's someone there to help you find it in case you get lost. What I will say is arrive on time, and on time is probably a little bit early because we are filling up our slots and we want to be able to see everyone in the time that we have. So if you could get there between 4 and 4:15, between 4 and 4:10 rather, for a 4:15 start, that would be amazing, or 5:30 for a 5:45 start. If you have any questions about that, you can put it in the chat or ask again when we finish. So here's what to expect at auditions. I would say if you've ever been to a professional audition, it's going to be a little bit different. And that's because we know some people are coming in having never auditioned before. And oh my God, auditioning is scary. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But we are going to make it fun. We are going to make it inviting and welcoming and really, really low key. So how are we going to do this? Once everyone shows up at 4:15 or 5:45, we're going to welcome everyone into the room as a group. We're going to play a game. We're going to do a warm up, get some of those nerves out of our bodies. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to read the monologues, but we'll certainly give you a time to ask any questions that you might have about the monologues. Do you understand what it's about? Any words that you weren't sure how to pronounce? We'll get those out of the way in case you have any questions. And please do ask questions. It will not go against you. I know some people are afraid to ask questions. We love when you ask questions. We're going to go over audition best practices. What makes a good audition? So you have a little tips fresh in your mind when you go in there. And then we'll allow you to go back into the waiting room and we'll call you in one by one to perform your chosen monologue. So when you signed up on the Keen Teens page and in the flyer, you should see there's a link to all the monologues. And I know Ashley will put that in a little bit, but we are providing you the monologues. You do not need to search for a monologue. You do not have to do Juliet from Romeo and Juliet. No brownie points for doing Shakespeare. We actually prefer if you do one of the three that we have provided for you. Monologues do not need to be memorized, although we encourage you to try it. But it's way more important to us that you hold a paper with a monologue and feel really confident and good than not hold a paper and struggle to remember the words. We want to see you. That's the most important thing. in-person auditions are preferred, but if you can't make it to one of the days, please let me know. And then you could submit a video, and we ask that you submit that no later than Monday the 27th, and it's to my email at carrie@keencompany.org. I'm trying to see, are there any um there are a couple of Keen Teens from last year, some alums. If you're an alum, do you want to unmute and just talk about what the audition process was like for you? Because I know
Um,
it's intimidating for some.
yeah, I can share the process that I went through like last
Hi,
year.
Victoria.
Hello.
Yeah, so what
So
was
basically,
auditions like for you?
oh, it was really like scary for me because I didn't know how it to be like in theater, but I knew it's gonna be like nervous and stuff like that. But I knew that like I can make it because I have like a voice, so basically it's not gonna be hard for me.
Yeah.
But in the last few minutes, I forgot to memorize the monologue, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, should I just read it or should I just learn it like right now?" And I just read it, and it was like basically easy. You ask some questions like to read the line and stuff like that. So, and
Yeah.
after and after I'm like, "Whew, that's it, I'm done."
Right? So
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. I see some raised hands. So I'm actually okay taking a couple of audition questions right now. We don't have to wait until the end. Angel, I see, is raising their hand, and then something went into the chat. So do we want to let Angel ask a question and then read what's in the chat?
Yeah, go for it, Angel, if you can unmute yourself, and if you can't, I can help.
No, I got it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Um, I was gonna ask. I mean, I was gonna say my audition experience because I did it 2 years ago.
Oh.
Um, so I don't know if it was this. It's the same now. But just on my experience, it was a little bit nervous. I was a little bit nervous. 'Cause I was like, oh, what monologue do I do? And it was like the day of the audition, so I was like, oh God. And they also said to bring in a song, and I know this one there's no musical, so I know there's no song for this one. But I was just like, oh. And when I got there, I'm like, all right, I'm in this room, I'm by myself. What do I do? And going into the room and actually like singing and stuff, like I was shaking, yeah. But at the end of the day, I was like, I did it. I got it done with, and then I was in. So I was like, it's worth it, even though it's scary. It's like to just take the chance. And it's like you can't go back. You can't say no. It's like it's better to just do it and get it over with.
Yeah, I love that you're talking about risk taking because I don't think auditioning is comfortable for anyone, not even professionals. I know people who are working on Broadway and auditioning doesn't get easier. It's one of the hard parts. But, taking a breath, knowing you're going to be nervous. We know you're nervous and we do not hold that against you. It's okay. We're there to support you. We even let you start over if you make a mistake. We give you permission to make mistakes. And that's not what we're looking at. So I always say take perfect out of it. That is not what we're looking for. We just want to see you. Um, and like Angel said, he had to search for a monologue. A change we've made in the last few years is that no, you do not need to search for your own monologue anymore. We provide it for you.
And
Okay.
will there be, I'm not getting a question, are there callbacks or is this just one audition process?
So there are no callbacks. It's one audition process. But when you're in the room, one of the directors might ask you to try something. They might see you read a monologue and say, "Ah, I can see this person in for this character, this character, this character." So, can you read that as if you're angry, or can you read that as if you're talking to someone you really have a crush on? So, they might ask you to do something like that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions regarding auditions?
Should we move on and do more questions later?
Yeah. Yeah. Good. So casting. So this part moves fairly quickly after auditions. So after auditions, the Keen Teens team will meet to discuss the casting. Casting is based on several things. Availability, So, for example, if you put on your form that you're only available on Tuesdays and Thursdays, obviously you cannot be considered for the play that rehearses on Wednesdays. So availability plays a pretty big factor. Um, a willingness to learn. Again, we're not looking for perfection. We're not looking for someone who's been acting since they were 5. We're looking for someone who's eager, and excited and wants to try and wants to learn. We're looking for someone who's enthusiastic, and also your schedule. Um, did you say you can't come to rehearsals every day until 6 p.m.? That might be hard. So we're looking at your schedule. Do you have a ton of conflicts? We love that you do so many things in your life, your school, but make sure that you have the time to commit to Keen Teens as well. Offers are going to go out around February 3rd. Our goal is on February 3rd, but we're going to give ourselves like a day's cushion just in case. As I mentioned before, for the play The Floydians, we're going to send a script with the offer for you to look over. Um, and then we send you contracts, contracts saying that you know the dates, just out you agree to our ethos and how we work together. The contract, sorry. The contracts must be signed by both yourself and your grown-up, your parent or guardian, and they must be submitted either scanned and emailed to me, which is actually preferable, or handed to me by the first rehearsal. Okay. And I will be bothering you if you don't give it to me. I email you like 12 times a day. So hand it in. All right. Now we could go to the next one.
Now we're ready. Thank
Now.
you. Thank you.
This is something that's really exciting. So last year when we were when we were performing, we noticed that a lot of the teens were really interested in what was going on behind the scenes, off the stage. And it made us think about um, giving teens an opportunity to really be mentored by the professionals in the room. So we are creating a new position, which is the Keen Teens Directing Mentorship and Understudy. And here's what that means. We are going to be casting 3 teens who are interested in the world of directing, assistant directing, and stage managing. We're going to be assigning 1 teen for each play. They will be mentored by the professionals in the room and be given responsibilities as time goes on. The person in this position will serve a vital role in the rehearsal room, ensuring all actors are present, on task, and to fill in if an actor is late or absent. Then, in the event an actor has to drop out, the person will assume the role of the person who dropped out, or if something needs to be shifted around, a role in the play permanently. So if you love acting, but you're like, I've always wanted to try directing, or stage managing, this might be a really interesting position for you. So I know I asked it on the forum. Some of you said, yes, I'm absolutely interested. I'll do it if you ask. Some said, nah, actually, I just want to act. That's fine. Some of you are like, I'm not sure. That's okay too. And you can change your mind as well. Any questions about that? Put it in the chat, please. And then rehearsals, very, very important. So rehearsals begin on February 10th. Now, this is the only Monday except for Tech Week where you'll be called. This is an initial rehearsal for every cast member, and it's an ensemble day. Even though you're cast in 3 separate plays, you're all part of one festival for Keen Teens, and we want you to feel like you're an ensemble. So it's going to be a day where everyone gets to meet everyone. We get to play games, but also we set expectations. What do we at Keen expect from you as our actors? And what do you, our teens, expect from us? So we will be doing that on February 10th. And then rehearsals start right away on February 11th, 12th, or 13th, depending on which play you're cast in. That's a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So you only come on the day of the play you've been cast in. So for example, let's say The Door rehearses on Tuesdays. We're actually not 100% sure yet. We should know by tomorrow. You would only come on a Tuesday each week. Does that make sense? Yeah. Rehearsals are from 4:30 to 7 o'clock. Plan to arrive early so that you can start on time. I know some of you are traveling from a far distance or your classes end on the later side, like 3:30. You have noted that in your Google form. We understand that is fine as long as we know on a consistent basis you might be there at 5:45. But what I will say, anything beyond 5 o'clock is on a consistent basis is late and might result in having to recast your part. So just consider that. Look at your schedule before signing up to audition. There are some Saturday rehearsals. This is for us again to be an ensemble, to see the flow of everything. So, March 29th, that's going to be a skill building workshop with myself and Vernice, the producing director of Keen Teens. And it's also going to be a chance for us to go see Keen Company's All the World's a Stage after the rehearsal. And that's going to be a fun little trip. Then April 5th, 26th, and May 3rd are full cast rehearsals. And they will be from 11 to 2 p.m.
I just want to add, because we were talking a lot about rehearsal time and even seeing the show. Oh, our lights are automatic. Hold on. I just want to reiterate that this is a free program. Your tickets to the show are free. If you're in this program, then all these rehearsal times and tickets to the show are all free.
And also before we move on, Sloan, is there anything you wanted to say about rehearsals or the rehearsal room or auditions? I should have paused to see if you wanted to add anything.
No, that's okay. I just strongly encourage everyone to, if you know you're going to end up being late to rehearsal or need to not be able to be at one for personal reasons, which is an emergency case, not a I don't feel like coming, would be to always reach out to me or your assistant stage manager that's in the room with you. So just emphasizing that with people auditioning, really understanding the commitment of coming every week. As part of an ensemble, it's really important to always be there. So
Thank you. I echo that. All right, next slide. I think we're getting close to the end. School breaks. So we only have 14 weeks to rehearse this, which is not a ton of time if you really think about it. So we do rehearse through school breaks. That means the midwinter February break and the April break. If you have a trip planned, please go on your trip. It's okay. But note it on your Google form when you sign up, or if you forgot to do that, you'll just let us know at auditions, no biggie. But it's really important that we know. If you're not going away, don't pretend you are, please. We need you. We need you there. It's really important.
And if, as we've talked about this, some folks realize that their availability is a little bit different. Should they go back and edit that form? Should they email you? What's that process?
I think I would say email me and I will, because I have it all in a nice little spreadsheet now. So I will go and I will edit it for you and make sure all the information is correct. So you can email me again at carrie@keencompany.org. And I know Ashley will put that in the chat so you can see it. It's also on our Keen Teens page. Definitely email me. And also, if there's anything you don't get to email me before auditions, we're going to have a little sign-in sheet and we're going to ask you to make sure all the information is correct. You could alter information there at that time as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Tech weekend performances. And this is super, super important because attendance is required for everyone during tech week each day. That means if you play basketball on Tuesdays, you don't during tech week. That is, we know things happen. Like you maybe have a big game and we'll say, oh, on that Tuesday in March, you have a big game. Okay, we understand that you're not going to be there. We ask your basketball coach to understand that during tech week, you will be at Keene. Because we cannot have absences aside from sickness emergencies. So tech week is an important time of the week before performances when the acting, set, lights, sound, and costumes come together for the first time. That will be from May 12th through 16th. And then performances are Friday the 16th at 8 p.m., May 16th at 8 p.m., excuse me. Saturday, May 17th at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. So that is a long day. We provide you some lunch that day, but you are there for a long time. And then Sunday, May 18th at 2 p.m. So that's really cool. You get four performances, which doesn't happen that often with a lot of programs. So it's really exciting. And again, it happens in an off-Broadway theater on 42nd Street, which is really amazing.
Can I add to that, Carrie?
Yeah, please do.
One of the questions was asking if we are going to 10 p.m. on one of the weeks. We will be going to 10 p.m. on the 8 p.m. performances. It's a 90-minute show, might be an hour 45. So for the performance dates, plan to be there until 10. And for tech, there will probably be one day where each show is there until 10. We try and keep you there not that late on tech, but one day out of tech you'll probably be there at 10, and then the performances, you'll most likely be heading out around 10 p.m. as well.
So we will get you all that information as for the tech week and who will be late. But yes, expect on performance days um to be there later. And I know it's 42nd Street and grown-ups might be concerned. We can work with everyone on the best ways for everyone to feel safe getting home that night. Okay. All right, here we go. The questions. So we'll go through any in the chat that maybe weren't answered, but you're also welcome to raise your hand and then we'll invite you to unmute. And I think we could stop the slides so we could see if anyone's raising their hands too. Thank you. So anything in the chat that did not get answered?
I know there was a question about if they have their own monologue, should they use that?
That's a great question, and thank you. I would say just to keep the playing field level for everyone, let's use the monologues that were provided. And if anyone has any questions about those monologues, please feel free to ask.
I didn't get any other questions yet, but some folks might be ruminating.
Yeah, take your time. We'll give you a few minutes.
While we're thinking, do you want to talk at all about anyone who maybe has never done a theatrical program before? I know that this Keen Teens runs a wide gamut. So people who audition, some people have never been on stage before, some people are on stage every day. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, everyone has to start sometime, right? So maybe you're born into a theater family. I was born into a theater family. My father was a theater teacher. Theater was a part of my life from birth. Other people, they're like, theater, that sounds cool. Maybe I'll try that. And you've never done it before. And that is, I think, so exciting. This is the time to try things. So we are there to guide you. I will be in the audition room as your cheerleader, as your helper. We've had people come into the audition room and just be so terrified that they froze. I stood up there with them, I worked with them, and they still got cast. So it's okay to be new. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be trying it. We love it. We really, really do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's a question about where to find those monologues. I'm going to drop all the links in again so they're handy, but the shorter answer is they're on our website. Is that fair?
Right. So if you go on keencompany.org, you'll see on the page, and maybe we could even do that. We could show them where to find everything if they go to keencompany.org.
Yeah.
How to navigate that and find things.
I'll pull it up right now.
Thank you.
While we're finding that, do you have any thought on which monologue they should choose?
Whatever one they like.
Whatever inspires them.
Yeah, whatever one you like. So, there are a choice of three. I picked them because I felt that they were diverse enough in like kind of topic, emotion, style. Um, And even though a character playing it in the play might be of a certain gender or race or an ethnicity, I felt like if you didn't know anything about that and it stood alone, it could be it could be more neutral. So you can pick anyone. If you know it's a the Lucy monologue from You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, but you don't identify, you're not female identifying, you can still do that monologue because there's nothing in that monologue to suggest anything about gender or race or anything else. So I'd say just pick the one that makes you feel like, oh, I like that one. Or that's exciting. Or that seems hard. I want to try something new. Or that one seems easiest. I'm gonna try that.
Totally.
That's a fine reason. All right. So you went to keencompany.org. That is
We
our
did.
website.
And this is the main section here is all about auditions.
Yeah. The prettiest one, click on it.
Prettiest one.
That's Keen Teens. And then if you scroll down, it gives you all the information. So you could download the audition flyer, which basically has all the information that's on this page anyway. It gives you all the dates. Where do you go? It even has a Google map, so you could look at that on your phone when you're traveling and see exactly where you're going. So you can link the Google map there. Um, the speeches are monologues. It says available here in the circle, but also there's a nice tab that says download audition monologues. Um, and on that, I have the three monologues. And also, I give you some tips and things to think about, especially if you've never done a monologue before. Some things to think about as you practice. And I do recommend you practice. You don't want the first time you ever read that monologue to be in the audition room. You're going to be nervous. It's scary. Um, because it's uncomfortable because you're standing in front of people reading.
Mhm.
So the more you practice, the more you make a plan and know what you want to do, the more comfortable you're going to feel. Also, right next to that is sign up for an audition slot. I will say if you have not signed up for an audition slot yet, please, 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 please do it soon. We are almost at capacity on oh, what was it? The both Wednesday slots. Um, I think the Tuesday 5:45 slot and one of the Monday slots. We are really, really close. We have about a total of maybe 15 slots left open. Okay, so if you have not sent it in, signed up for your audition slot, I would suggest doing that as soon as possible. It has the important program dates, the tech week, and then the information session. And if you know people who are interested and they couldn't make the information session today, this is being recorded and we're going to put it on the website.
Mhm. As soon as tomorrow, that section will just now have a video.
Yeah.
Great. And then there's your email again, and there's also a Keen hotline if you want to call, text, leave a voicemail.
Are the auditions private? So, the first part of the is not, and that's not actually the audition. It's the part where we get everyone together and warm up and like kind of set best practices for auditioning and get everyone in the room, get their nerves out. But when you actually come in and do your monologue, yes, it is just you. The other people in the room will be the three directors, myself, Vernice, our Keen Teens producing director, and Sloan, I believe you said you'll be in the room. We will be recording each one just because seeing 60 teens, it's a lot. And sometimes we want to go back and remember something. But we will only be using it for casting purposes. And once we are done, we will be getting rid of those videos. If there are any challenges with that, you'll let us know ahead of time and we'll try to make accommodations. I hope that answers your question.
And I would say that from our perspective, the goal of those auditions is to set every participant up for success.
Yes. 100%.
So, there is a part at the beginning of the slot that gets everyone's nerves out, that explains everything, and then there's a more, one-on-one part where you can just be you and the directors, and Carrie's there who you've maybe already met. Look, Carrie, you're best friends now. And so you can sort of like get everyone on the best foot. So if you're nervous about it, know that everyone's nervous about it, but also know that everyone in that room is rooting for you.
Yeah. And also know, like, I'm gonna come out and get you when it's your turn. If we're in the hall and you're like, Carrie, oh my God, like I can't breathe. I don't know. I'll bring you in the room. We'll have some small talk. I'll ease you in. I'll even stand up there next to you. Okay? Like whatever you need, I'm there for you. How many per once? Are you asking how many people per audition slot?
Yeah, I think like how many will be in that group that sort of is together?
The goal is to have 10. Um, Probably max is 12. If an audition slot doesn't fill up, it'll be less. But I know I have some audition slots with 10 and 11 right now that I'm about to close up. But I'm gonna allow up to 12 in case people don't show up.
And things shift every, day
Yeah.
by day, week by
Yeah.
week.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's about 30 slots in the program. I think we covered that. There's 30 roles in the program.
There are 32 this year.
Great.
Because the door has 12 characters and the other two have 10 characters. So if we have about 60 audition slots, let's say, slightly more than half will get cast, plus the 3 director positions.
Great.
Hi, Brandy. All I saw is I'm Brandy, and I didn't see the rest. Hold on. It was so nice joining this meeting, but I have to go now. Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you, Brandy. Oh, she direct messaged me. No one else can see that. Okay. That's why.
Awesome.
Any other questions? All right.
You're open to, this is not people's only time to ask questions, right, Carrie? They can email you
No, you
anytime.
can email me anytime. But if you feel good and you feel like signing off, I know it's getting late. That's okay. I'll also stay on for a couple of minutes in case you want to ask a question in private. But if you are good, hopefully I see you at auditions. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.